So Williams-Sonoma just dropped their latest quarterly report. And on the surface, things looked pretty good. Sales were up, profits were solid. But here's the thing. If you really want to understand what makes this company tick, the prepared remarks aren't where the story is. The real insights, the real strategy, came out during the Q&A, when analysts really put management on the spot. So let's dive into that. 4 big themes really jumped out from that Q&A session. We're going to look at their high-wire act with tariffs, how they're completely changing their approach to pricing, their game plan for growth in a really tough market, and what might just be their secret weapon for the future: AI.
First up, and this one took up a lot of the airtime, was the #1 external pressure they are facing right now: navigating the incredibly messy and expensive world of international tariffs.
You can imagine, this was the first thing analysts jumped on. With tariffs going up and changing all the time, they were all asking the same thing. How on earth is this company absorbing these huge, unexpected costs without just completely crushing their profit margins?
And CEO Laura Alber didn't try to dodge the question at all. She came right out with this quote, basically setting the tone for the whole conversation. She wanted everyone to know this isn't some minor headache for them. It is a massive challenge, and she was super upfront about it.
And to give you a sense of just how big this challenge is, check out this number. Management said their incremental tariff rate has more than doubled just this year, jumping from 14% all the way to 29%. That is a gigantic, sudden tax on their products that they either have to eat or pass on to customers.
So what's their game plan? Well, they laid out this really detailed 6-point battle plan. It's like they're fighting this war on multiple fronts. They're pushing back on vendors for better prices, moving production to different countries, making their own supply chain more efficient, and of course, as a last resort, they are carefully raising some prices. Now, that last point on their plan, raising prices, is really important. It's not just a small tactic. It actually ties directly into the second huge theme that came out of the Q&A. A major, fundamental shift in how they think about pricing altogether. You know how for years, retail has been this constant race to the bottom? Endless sales, promotions, discounts? Well, Williams-Sonoma is basically hitting the brakes and saying, we're not playing that game anymore. They are making a very deliberate pivot away from that promotional chaos and are leaning hard into selling their products at full price. So, how do they justify that? Well, this is the core of their argument. Laura Alber made the case that when you offer truly unique, innovative products and you back it up with amazing customer service, you earn the right to charge full price. You get what they call pricing power. You're not just selling a couch, you're selling quality and trust.
Okay, so is this bold strategy actually working? According to them, the answer is a big yes. They're seeing customers respond really well to their full-price items, and that's flowing right to the bottom line with better margins. It suggests people are willing to pay for real value instead of just chasing the next discount. All right, so they've got a plan for tariffs. They're changing up their pricing strategy. That naturally leads to the next big question from analysts. In this economy, where is the future growth actually going to come from? And management was brutally honest about the headwinds here. They're facing what they called the worst housing market in the last 40 years. I mean, just think about that. When people aren't moving, they're not buying new furniture. It's a direct hit to the heart of their business. But they are not just sitting around waiting for the housing market to magically turn around. Nope, they are actively on the hunt for what they call white space opportunities. That means they're getting back to opening more West Elm stores, they're pushing their premium rejuvenation brand into new cities, and they're even experimenting with physical stores for their newest brand, Green Row. And then the CEO dropped a pretty big hint about the future. She said she is very optimistic about a housing rebound next year. And here's the key part. They're not waiting for it to happen. They are getting their supply chain ready right now to catch that wave of demand when it comes. They're playing offense. Now, just when we thought we had the whole picture, right as the call was winding down, this final really fascinating theme emerged. This one wasn't about playing defense or reacting to the market. This was about building a powerful new engine for the future. Now listen to how she framed this. It was almost a throwaway comment, but it was so powerful. Laura Alber joked that maybe AI should be their 7th strategy for fighting tariffs. By saying that, she elevated AI from just another tech tool to a core pillar of their entire business strategy, right up there with something as critical as their tariff response. And this isn't just talk. They brought the receipts. Just look at the impact on their customer service chat. Before they brought in AI, the average time to solve a customer's problem was a long 23 minutes. After AI, it's down to just 5 minutes. That is a game-changing improvement.
But it gets even better, because it's not just about cutting costs. Their chief technology officer jumped in to explain that AI is having this incredible ripple effect across the whole business. It's making them smarter about shipping, helping them convert more shoppers on their website, and it's now seen as a way to actually drive sales, not just save money.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you see this really interesting dynamic. You have these massive external pressures like tariffs forcing the company to become leaner and tougher. And at the exact same time, you have this incredible internal tool, AI, making them smarter and more efficient. It leaves us with a pretty big question. Are we watching them create a blueprint for a more resilient, future-proof model for all of retail?